listen to anything else. They said, right, we'll fix that, we'll get them together. And I couldn't believe it. They flew me over on the condition that I did 2 songs for Stevie on the Talking Book. And in return, he wrote me 2 songs. And how Superstition started was Stevie went off for a lunch break, or whatever, a break. I don't know what he was up to. He disappeared. And,
I think it was lunch.
I
think it was lunch.
He went out on his own, which was a bit worrying, wasn't it? I want to tell you something else, but I can't. Same for the book. And I stole the drums, because I just like to mess around playing, sort of like Memphis, not Memphis, but New Orleans type drum. I just started this groove, and Stevie walked in the door as I'm playing it. He went, "Don't stop!" And I said, "Look, Steve, it's Jeff. You know, I don't play the drums." Don't just shit away. And he said, "No, I don't care. Just keep playing." And I'm playing drums, and he's playing the clarinet. And he just picked up it. Within a second, the riff was there. And as soon as we'd done about 12 bars, he said, "Stop." He then kicked me out of the room and played the drum part, recorded that for about 5 minutes. On goes the clarinet, on goes the bass line and the bridge and everything. Then he takes me in the toilet and to keep me away from anyone who could witness the fact that I was coming up with the ideas for the lyrics. Nice chap. He knew that I had a song up already called Ain't Superstitious, and he thought that's a kind of a way, like a funnel into an idea. So he asked me some English superstitions. The ladder falling, when you walk under it, you know, the paint can on your head or whatever, and the broken mirror. He never heard that. So those ideas were mine, and the drum. That's it, really. And then he was so thrilled with the demo that he made. He took it back to Detroit and played it to Berry Gordy, and Berry said, "This is a #1 record. Beck can go and stuff himself."
And here's Stevie Wonder now.
Berry, being the businessman that he is, he stopped my version. He injuncted it. So, and it's a good job because Stevie had the far better version, and he wrote it for me and Timmy and Carmine. You know, that was the idea of it. So the bass line and was all neat rhythm. So it was a perfect power trio, but he wouldn't let me release it until it was out. It's over.
And did he give you 2 songs in the end?
Yeah, he gave me a thing called Thelonious, which was on there. It didn't. There were 2. I can't remember. No, he didn't give me that. I stole that. It was his then girlfriend, Sarita, and I loved that album. And I heard the sort of plaintive sound that she made, something like that. And I copied it. And before we knew it, we had a nice track. That's how that started.
Joanna, you have a question.
I do.
You have more than one
I'm just curious, all of us as whatever level we are at, we have people that we draw from. I mean, you're one of the people that I draw from since I was a kid. The first rock album I ever had in a rave, I remember buying it at a rave. Who do you go back to the well that, where you draw inspiration, whatever it is?
Everywhere. It could be just a classical piece that playing, that just gets you out of the throat.
Anything as a kid when you were coming up that it just hit you the same way?
My sister, she clued me in on that. If you have an elder sister when you're 10 and she's like 14, it's a disaster, but it's good at the same time. She brings all her friends home playing Elvis Presley Jeepers, and it's amazing. They sent me out of the room. They wouldn't let me stay in there, but I used to listen. And when she'd gone back to school, I just played her records, and she knew that my thumbprints were all over. But I'm telling you that there wasn't much there. I mean, we had nothing, just a small, modest little house. And the radio, that was my best friend, and used to just mess around with the tuning dial and see if we could find something interesting.
And then my other question is, you play so great with a vocalist. You're just one of the greatest rock and pop players to play with a vocalist. What made you decide to take an instrumental path?
Rod left. as well. So
Where are they now?
Yeah, exactly.
the Rolling Stones. No, well, Woody's and the Rolling Stones. I think. Yeah.
Never hear of it now.
Hey, before we get to these questions, we were talking the other day. Tell these folks who the first live, famous people you saw perform in England were.
Gene Vincent and Little Richard, Buddy Holly.
No, great.
That's off. Yeah, my mate was a huge Holly fan, and I wasn't really. I mean, I thought he was fabulous. Don't get me wrong, but not Gene Vincent. He wasn't Gene. He wasn't Little Richard. There wasn't enough sort of gypsy nastiness about him. He looked too respectable for me. But I loved, like That'll Be the Day and all that. And I went to see Gene Vincent. He scared them. He really did. He scared the pants out of me. I was in the front row. And he just looked like a serial killer. There's greasy hair hanging down there. And he kept staring at me. It wasn't me, pal. But the thing was, there was no blue caps. And it was like one Beatle. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's the rest of these guys that made this amazing sound? That's what I grew up on, blue caps. And Chet Atkins, Merle Travis, and a lot of those guys.
I was in the audience at the Iridium when you did the Les Paul tribute.
Oh, you were?
It was amazing.
Well, Imelda May she was the amazing link there. Without her, I couldn't have done it. She had that sort of exact 50s style and the voice, and she did a grand job, I thought.
She did.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jeff, question, sort of two questions. How much thought do you give with your solo? Your solos are different each night.
None whatsoever.
So
you could tell, couldn't you? There was no real pre-planning.
okay. So what advice can you give to me and to all of us here to try to avoid like redundancy with the same licks and do you have any?
Yeah, I find it tough enough, and if I knew, I wouldn't tell you anyway. No, it's just I think I've got an internet radio, and it was given to me by a close friend, and he didn't really know what he was giving me, and it was just changed my life really, because I was tuning into far-flung stations. Same thing that I was doing when I was at school, listening to the little, the sort of rented radio we had, but with perfect clarity, and you can go anywhere in the world, listen to different channels, and he went and bought one, and it was rubbish. I couldn't get any channels on it at all. My mate, that's this, and that's it. I just listen to loads and loads of music, not rock and roll necessarily, but so there's a vintage channel with swing bands, when they really knew what they were doing, big drummers, Chick Webb and all that, and that's still good stuff to listen to, because they were so brilliant. The close harmony bands, pre Beach Boys, Rhythmaires or Rhythm Kings or whatever they were called. No, Rhythmaires, I think. And I listen to anything that's fantastic, whether it's sax playing or just powerhouse big bands. You can pick out stuff from there. If it moves you, you just use that little germ of what hits you at the time.
Thank you.
I try not to steal anything from anybody, but of course it's there. With listening to Cliff and Scotty Moore, that's part of who I am. Those people. That's stuff. Sorry.
Jeff,
Yes, Smith. What can I do for you?
I saw you in '82, I think it was, right after there and back.
Mm-hmm.
And Summer Phillips and that shows what got me really cranked up and really wanted to play guitar. And I saw you in Atlanta at the Fox Theater, and I remember you. It was just a mind-blowing show. You took the Strat at one point in the middle of some feedback going on or something. I'm not sure what you did, but I just wanted to reflect back. Do you remember any of this show and talk a little bit about that touring in that time? But you slammed the Strat on the stage, it looked like, and it took off about 10 feet in the air.
No, I bounced it.
You bounced it?
Yeah. I just wanted to test it, make sure it was still. It was really strong.
It came right back down, and you
I
just
could have
strapped
given.
it right back on and kept going. Yeah.
It's like the Bonnie and Clyde V8 Ford. He said you can't wreck them. No, it was great. But more power to Tony Hymas, who wrote those songs. He just wrote melody for me, and Simon was just astonishing. He was like the Billy Cobham that I always wanted, and that whole thing was so tight. You even if you fouled up, the band was tight behind you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us the story about when you went into Motown Studios?
Do I have to? That was going to be saved from my yeah. No, it was amazing. That's another case of me not wanting to work unless I'd had my own way. I was a proper spoiled little bastard. Mickey Mouse said, "Listen, Berry Gordy is going to have you over there, but because without the success that Mickey had, I wouldn't have stood a dog's chance of getting in there. But Berry knew that Motown was in trouble. I think they were not doing that well, 70. And they said, bring your white boy over. And I went in there and they hated me. James didn't want to look at me until we started playing, and then it was a little bit different, but he gets, where's the dots? Where's the dots? And all they kept saying, we don't jam, we don't do nothing like that. Like, if we'd asked them to come here, he would have laughed at us, They need the dots, and they play brilliantly around the given music structure. But we finally came up with some songs, and then it all kicked off good, So I got 11 tracks unmixed from the early Motown studios. I'm hoping to bake those and hope that they can be transferred and mixed. I don't really want to add anything because it'd be cheating. I like to put a modern guitar on it, but if there's nothing there, then I'll have to think about maybe a guest singer or something. But the sound is there.
Which guitar did you play? Which guitar did you?
It was
play?
a Les Paul.
The Les Paul.
Yeah. They said, do you want to use the two rhythm guitars? I went, what? No way. And I realised that they were one of the most characterful sounds of Motown, the way they worked together. So I was stupid. I was stupid back then. Still stupid.
So you used the Les Paul. Perfect. Okay. Noted.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you came to be connected with and the story behind Tal Wickenfeld? Because she's killer, man. She is just killer.
Yeah. Can we change the subject? She's a really naughty girl. But not in the good way. It was dear Vinny, I love desperately. He's playing, it's just, there ain't many Vinnies around. And he always goes out every 10 minutes for a smoke break, apparently, on this occasion. And he passed the studio door where she was coming out, and this amazing, fabulous bass playing. He said, excuse me, dear, that patronising bastard that he is. Who's playing that bass? She said, me. And he went, what? And went in and they got to know each other. And he rang me. He said, listen, I'm coming over with this Tal Wilkenfeld. And when he knocked at my kitchen door, I went, hello, Vinny. Who's the child? Don't you think she's a little young? She looked 14, she looks about 15 now. She's amazing.
Really good.
But she needs a career, she really needs to harden up a bit and get to grips with what is needed, to be in a band, I suppose.
But when you played with Stevie Ray Vaughan, he's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
Did you ever play his guitar? Or?
Yeah. It was terrible.
I know.
It was vicious. It was one vicious Stratocaster. Well,
Any good stories?
Well, I can't tell you those stories. Well, I jokingly said, "Is he?" They said he's rabid. Is he mad? And he just puts Kentucky Fried Chicken straight in one piece. I said, "Does he eat the box as well?" They said, "Yep, he eats the box." His guitar is one of those where he puts heavy strings on it, and that even though they're detuned to E flat, like Jimmy, I believe, it was virtually unplayable. But the sound was, we all love the sound. But he had the most ridiculous amp rig I've ever seen. It was like huge, great skyscrapers behind him. And I had a Fender Twin. But I cranked it, and he said, why do I need this crap? You're getting the loudest out of that. But I didn't get the variation of tone I wanted.
Yeah, before we take any more questions, notice his pedal board, 3 pedals, of which he used one.
That's a lot. That is the whole thing. Normally,
it's all in how.
I never used a pedal with Stevie. I didn't use any pedals at all. I just said, and I think I might have had a rat pedal or something like that. I didn't go for. He did the wah-wah stuff and all that. I didn't want to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
If you could put your dream band together this week, who would be on drums, bass, keyboards, and lead vocals?
No keyboards. No, we don't do keyboards, darling. They've got in the way too long. Well, there's so many great players. I've got this guy, Jonathan Joseph, who is sort of a young Billy Cobham, and he's a little bit of Vinny, and plays with musicality. Just amazing spirit. And I've got Lizzie Ball on violin, who's classically trained, and she is thinking about, perverting the course of the violin by, using pedals and weird sounds. And the cellist, I'm thinking about maybe an upright bass, the doubles on bass guitar.
What about with superstars? Like what superstars for your super group would you put together?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't want to show favoritism to anybody.
Maybe somebody you haven't played with?
Pardon?
Maybe somebody you've never played with?
Well, Jacko would have been great, I suppose. Jacko was great. I don't, honestly, I've never thought about it. I'm too busy thinking who the hell's going to play, just to do a gig. Because all the good players are busy, and you know what I mean? It's difficult. And then you have to wait to see if they can do the gig. Oh, well, I signed to do this tour 10 years ago. It's a bit awkward sometimes.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry I can't answer you more specifically than that.
Chuck, can you talk about one of my favorite periods was between Blow by Blow and Wired, which again is probably one of the greatest albums ever made. But can you talk about what you were thinking of and making that move away from the Beck group?
Okay, well, the link for me was when I gave up on Rod and all that. I thought I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do any more blues, progressive blues, sort of rock. I was nearly drowning under my car because it was raining, and I had a carport, but there was a flood, and I just thought, this sucks, with gallons of water going. And I thought I'd rather die than just be here. And the little portable radio was playing, and it was playing Jack Johnson. That changed my life, listening to Jack Johnson. And I carried the radio in and just sat there, dried off, while I was listening to this Jack Johnson. Then I got into John McLaughlin and the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and then it all kicked off. It was a little bit sour for me, you know what I mean? Too complicated. And then I heard Spectrum, and that was a simplified version of Mahavishnu, but nevertheless amazing. And Jan simplifying sounding more like proper guitar that we all wanted to sound like,
Yeah, you make some killer arrangements. Those were killer arrangements.
They were. Tommy Bolin, I love Tommy.
Yeah.
And this was the map for me, I didn't have to try to outdo Mahavishnu or anything. This was the groove, this was what I've been looking for. And
Yes, sir.
Can you comment on what it was like to work in the late 80s, I guess, with Terry Bozzio? And did you ever turn around and tell me you need so many drums? Or?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how frustrating that was. He took a week of the rehearsal time just to set up the drums. And I said, listen, we did a great video for Mick, and you had a single kit because you were called the same day as the video, so you couldn't round up those 300 bass drums. And he played like amazing, just on like a sort of Motown, like side drum, snare, bass drum. And then he went all sort of like, if I'm going to play for Jeff, I'm going to have a fucking 400 drums. And then it became a problem because he was tuning them and taking all the sound check time. But he was amazing. Well, how can I tell you? And to do a show without a bass player, just a keyboard, and it was what it was, We wrote the stuff in the studio, played it, and that's it. It was like a gents club because we were there for so long.
Let's talk about something that really matters. What's your favorite car?
32 Ford.
There it is. Go ahead.
Blow by Blow, because we ended as lovers, was dedicated to Roy Buchanan.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to play with him?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I went to see him play, and I could barely see him because he was facing the wings all the time, and he drifted almost off stage. Where? Come out! He was a sweetheart, and I just thought, I think it was a spectacular that they did. That's my missus. Not now, though. No, I just saw it, and I was trapped in Boston. There was apparently some thugs looking for me, and my room had mafia outside. Well, there was a protection thing going on. And I just thought, right, I'll watch TV. And for about 40 minutes, this amazing guy was sitting on a rock playing his Telecaster. And they said, that's a Bill Graham production. And I thought, yeah, man, this is amazing. And I dedicated it to him because he sort of put me back on the track that you could play a lot of guitar and it wouldn't be annoying. Because it can be, can't it?
That's what Johnny tells me.
Yes, sir.
Now that you've become world's greatest guitar player,
Oh.
what is next for you?
Kindly leave the room.
What is next that you would like to do or accomplish?
I don't know. Some good. Just do some good, whatever it is. I mean,
He wants to
if
fly
I've done any
Burns
good
jet.
today.
You want to fly Burns jet?
Oh, I do, yeah. Yeah, something a bit more earthly, I think. He's a great pilot. Brett Byrne, amazing pilot. I never even knew we left Van Nuys Airport. There's so much to do, honestly. I wish you'd have asked me and I'd have spent the last 6 months wondering what it was.
Any tours planned right now?
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh,
Help!
please. Please come to Atlanta.
Anything.
Playing hard.
I love playing, but it's such a pain in the ass. There's no money. I can't make money. Our government, in their wisdom, take 50%.
But he'll come to Chastain next. But,
I mean,
what was the first
all right,
guitar? What was the first guitar you ever had?
I
Besides the one you made.
No, I made it. It was a Guiatone. It looked like it'd been made out of an old wardrobe, and it was $25 or something like that. But it sounded okay. I mean, it was a damn sight better than the one I made.
Can you tell us about auditioning for the Yardbirds?
Yeah, I had a Stratocaster which I couldn't keep the payments up, and the guy said, "Look, just bring it back." And I brought it back. I had no guitar when I joined the Yardbirds. No guitar. And I had to play Eric's. Eric left. He'd bought a Les Paul and forgotten to take the red Telecaster away. So humiliatingly, I had to accept to play his guitar. And they were all leering at me, because Eric was the face in the band, like everyone, Eric left. Okay. And so there was all these guitar cases and about 40 people there, and I was late. And I said, "Look, I'll wait, I'll just go off and come back." And they said, "No, you play first." And I'm playing Eric's guitar, and I just played, I think, Beck's Boogie or something. And they all packed up and packed off. And I got the gig there and then.
Can you tell us about your current gear, Jeff?
Pardon?
Your current gear setup?
There it is. No, I mean, the little Vox sounds good. There's a little Vox which I use, and it's got a small, very little output, but the tone is there. And I tried to pump it through the PA, and it just sounded small, even though the tone was good. You've got to have some watts, and I think one of those 50s, a couple of 50s or a couple of hundred, depending on the place. I dial in the sound as best I can. Some places the low end is like a bass guitar. You can't get it off. It's just murder every time you go somewhere. Because it's different.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned Motown tapes. What else is in there in the vault that you'd really like to see out someday?
What else would I like to see?
That's in the vault that never came out.
Oh, okay. The alternative shows I did with Jan. We did three shows in Northern California, Reading. There were some alternative shows which never went out. We just chose the best one. But I'd like to have hear those anyway because of Jan. I couldn't bear to listen to it at the time because I don't like to listen to myself right after a show. Because I know what I just did. Leave it a month and then listen. And then you can look more objectively at it. Listen more objectively. There's a lot more stuff in there. Scary stuff that I don't even recognise the label. Places that I've recorded, not remembered what I did.
Yes, sir.
I know you and Eric Clapton play together a lot. I heard you live near each other. Any chance that Beck Clapton?
No. I don't know. I've never thought there was any sort of love lost between us. I don't know. And then he agreed to do the 6 shows that we did recently, and he asked me to play Moon River. I thought, you really do hate me, don't you? That was pretty good. He said, I think that this will go down well. I went, yeah, right, you think so.
I'll do Crossroads, you
but
do
got a beautiful
Moonlight.
melody. Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Henry Mancini. It's a no-brainer.
Perfect. Yes, sir.
What advice could you give Jeff to an absolute beginner?
I would say don't do it. That's not true. Don't meddle. It depends how sincere the person is, isn't it? You know, if you're going to steer them up the wrong creek, you know, by advising them they can play and they can't, then it's a waste of time, really. But I think the person that's going to make it is going to make it. You know, they've got to have that inner drive, and they'll be fine. But that's the best I can answer. You know, I mean, who'd want to be 14 now?
Yeah.
Huh? With a guitar. Yeah. Off you go.
Okay, that's it. One more? Yeah.
I just have to ask, for years I've been hoping that you and Brian could work together and make an album of new music. Is that a
We have the T-shirt printed already. The poster.
You have the poster already, yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, to be in the present of 4 days, and all he said in the 4 days was, "Do you want to check your chimney?" It's a little tough when you've got to perform after that. But you know, he's lovely, isn't he?
Yeah, he's great.
Just because he doesn't say anything, it doesn't mean he's not listening. He hears every bloody word and everything you play.
Yeah, and then he'll just comment.
I kept thinking of Surf's Up and Good Vibration. I'm thinking, there he is. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Please go and have a cup of tea somewhere.
Okay, the great Jeff Beck.